Welcome to the Daily High, everybody. Happy Monday. It's been a good weekend. Very interesting for Bitcoin. How are you, Tone?
Good. I'm wearing my matching Buy the Dip shirt with a Buy the Dip mug.
What are you trying to tell people? What's the message of today's
We're gonna
show?
we're gonna find out.
All right. Well, why don't we just rock into it then? You want to go first? It's been a big weekend. You want me to go first?
Yeah, no, you know what? I'll go first.
All right.
All right, let's do this. I'm gonna open up my Bitcoin chart. Here we go. Okay, we are kicking off the week with, of course, a TradingView data error. This is not a green candle. This is just a flat little line that opened where the last candle closed. So on a weekly scale, we are on a 7 on our way into an MRI top. Last week closed as a beautiful doji candle, signaling a potential reversal. Is it possible that we hit the high last week and we're now going to start to pull back towards our first level of support, being the 20-period moving average on a weekly chart? Also being this area of 50,000. To me, that's the first level of support on a weekly scale. It's possible, but I still think there is a higher high incoming before, on, or soon after the halving. I still think we are on path to get into this box. Now, it is also possible that I have blinders on and I am just too committed to this view of mine that I've had since the breakout above this $50,000 area and kicking off the green star candle once we broke out above 50, that we are likely to go into this box in the high 70s to mid $80,000 range. That's still possible, and I will give up on that view if last week's low is broken to the downside, or we get anywhere in the vicinity of that weekly low. On the allocation chart, we had a bad week, but the moving averages are not even close to crossing. The 4-hour chart doesn't have any data errors. We are halfway through the current candle, and we are halfway into recovering last candle's losses. We are sitting just under the 3-day moving average, which is flat. So this is still overall bullish, and only the slightest inclination that there is a little bit of concern, but not enough to lower the allocation. The daily chart is where a lot of the concerns were taking place. I did not like this red star candle that closed us below the short-term moving average, which is the 20-period moving average. However, those that have watched my educational videos, you would know that closing below a moving average is not a bearish sign. Closing below a moving average is still potential support of set moving average. You need an entire candle below a moving average in order to consider that moving average broken. That is my personal rule. I don't know if technical analysis textbooks or what other technical analysts do. My rule on moving averages is as follows. I need an entire candle, like this candle that we're currently working on. Even this is not an entire candle above the moving average. But this would need to be below, and maybe if the very tip of a candle touches that moving average and 98% of that candle is below the moving average, I would consider that moving average to be broken. This moving average actually held even though we closed the candle below it and opened a candle below it. This is a clean hold of the moving average. We did not hit an MRI top here, but as I stated in the last video, this candle right here, which would have been candle number 3, literally missed being candle number 3 by a few dollars. And while I saw this as a good thing, resetting the count, in reality, you kind of want it to be grossly obvious that the count was broken. You want the next candle to maybe be down a bit so that you get, like, let's say 2 candles here breaking the count, not just one. so that the count is broken across every single exchange. And if it's broken across every single exchange, is broken across every single index of prices from those exchanges. This was actually a full-blown MRI top right here on some exchanges, including the biggest exchange being Kraken. To me, Kraken is the biggest spot exchange. Maybe Coinbase, but I don't like Coinbase. So I consider it Kraken number one, Coinbase number two. So on my number one exchange, the exchange where I check the price every minute of every day of the last 8 years on my cell phone, the price that shows up is the price of Kraken exchange, because I just don't know how to get the TradingView index on my phone in an app. Right? Like I can open TradingView, but that takes too many clicks. So in hindsight, I should have been a little more careful and paid attention a little closer. And I should have been a little more concerned over this top candle, which was an MRI top on Kraken's exchange. And then this would have been a perfect textbook 1 to 4 candle correction. And now we're likely going to the upside. How confident am I that the tops are going to get broken sometime this month or early next month? I am about 65 to 70% confident right now that the low is in. And the only way I will walk away from my view that the low is in is either the lows are broken, which is obvious. And by lows being broken, I mean we're hovering below 65,000. Or we're hovering below 65.5. If the price comes back down to 65.5, and we're continuing the downward MRI count, but then I'll be very close to a daily MRI buy, and I'll become bullish again at like 63, 62, 63. Or if, let's say, the price is not crashing, we get a full candle below the moving average, and then I would consider the moving average broken. As of right now, I am more than 50% confident that the low is in, and we are more likely to break the high, which is 64,000, than we are to break the low, which is 65,000. Now, as I texted Matt last night, my night, his morning, before I went to bed, and I said, if we're doing this show and the price is closer to 69,000 than it is to 67,000, I am very bullish for tomorrow's show, which for me was going to be tomorrow. And as you can see right now, the price is about to crack 68.5. And it's a lot closer to 69 than it is to 67. Therefore, I am very bullish as the show kicks off. Here is the 1 hour chart. We are getting another green star candle. We are so close to this triple top and ready to break up, which is awesome. Very bullish here. All right, I'm going to leave it here.
So close. So close.
So close. I have to sneeze and I muted in time because I have so many monitors now. I have to find a mute button. I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to hand it off to Matt. So jump on screen share. I like this hourly chart as well. Got one more moving average to break. We got prior highs to break. So Matt, off to you.
Thanks, mate. I've actually got quite a few notes in front of me here that I wrote while you were doing your analysis here. There's heaps to go through, and I'm excited and a bit nervous about which one to attack first. But before I go any further, please use the affiliate links in the description below with our 2bit and BitGet exchanges. They have excellent deposit promotions, but as better than that, we have fully set up the Discord group now, which you'll see the link in the description. Anyone who uses those affiliate links can go straight into the Discord group and get access to the VIP section of the Discord group, which will, from hopefully tomorrow, start using Bangbox signals to fire all the trades that it enters. So you'll see the entries, the exits, the stop losses, everything all in real time. It's going to be a great service, totally free. All you need to do is use the affiliate links in the description below. All right, I can't wait to go into these charts. As Tone said on the daily and the weekly and everything like that, I'm going to start the 4 hours because I want to clear up my charts and go through what I did personally over the weekend, which was what I spoke about on Friday's show and actually throughout the week that preceded it. So I had a really funny week last week when I called on the worst show that Tony and I ever did. I really well called the top, but I'm not really taking credit for that. I just had a feeling it was not technical, but I cleared out of the trade that I had entered a lot earlier in the leverage position, and it seemed that it was the right thing to do. I don't know why I got so lucky on that, but I just had a feeling and it was right. So we'll take that, no problem at all. We came back down and tested the support and resistance area here, and then on Friday's show, I mentioned that I think the show was about here when we did the show at $67,000 and 700. I said I'd be looking for a better entry as close as I possibly could back down to the support and resistance area. We actually tore through that over
Yeah,
the
man. So
weekend.
yeah, I was really surprised. So I messaged you,
Right.
even during Friday's show, right?
Yeah.
Before the show, I was messaging you as after that big bounce off the MRI support line, and
Yep.
I'm like, "Hey, Matt, did you get in?" And you said no, and I
No.
was very surprised because you like to trade 3 times a day, and it's been 36 hours, and you haven't made a trade. So it was a combination of, hey, we just bounced like 5-6% off of support. We're
Yep.
on an MRI buy. We bounced off the
Yep.
MRI support. You like
Yep.
to trade the MRI as well. You haven't traded in 36 hours, which is probably the longest you've gone in like 6 months. And you said, no, I didn't get in. And I was so freaking surprised. You have no idea.
Well, it's funny you say that because when we did the show here, I said on this candle here, if we get, I want to get as close nearer. It was a little bit far from me from that where I wanted to get in, and I said throughout the next 12 hours, I thought that when market opened, and then the people saw the ETF people saw the selling that we might get a spook down a little bit lower and I'd get an entry. I didn't have any buy orders set. I was just thought that I would get a better chance at some point throughout the night. But remember, we're doing these shows at 11. It's 11:30 right now at night in my time. So I went to sleep without my order being filled. I wasn't prepared to go in here, and then we came all the way up, and then came back all the way down. So I was able to get in to the price. I got in on this candle right here, and I will just go to replay for a second because I was saying in the show that I wanted to see. I'm doing this live on air. I wanted to see a green candle, and if you see,
You mean you wanted to get into your green cloud on the MRI?
no,
On the alphanumerics, I mean?
yeah, well, that would be my next step. It didn't come up this time, but anyway, on this candle right here, the green diamond did come up for a second, but it didn't finish. It didn't do it. Then I don't know why. I'll try one more time, and I'll just play through it. I said in the show, I want to buy as close as I can to that MRI support and resistance area off a
Is your
green diamond.
alphanumerics on?
Yeah, it's on
It
there.
is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's close. Here we go. Here we go. Just wait, wait, wait. Ready, ready,
Yeah,
ready.
green diamond shows up for a second, right? Let me see. No, I
No,
didn't see it.
well, it's because it's all in like the way that it sort of skips through the candles in real time. It did, and I have evidence that it did. I sent it to Tone. The green diamond did come in on this candle, but only for a minute. It had a really good response. It didn't close with the green diamond, but I actually did see it. I know that doesn't. I can post it on Twitter if anyone in the comment section doesn't believe me. I did capture it in real time that the green diamond did come in down here, and when we bounced off it, I did enter the trade at 65,852 right here. And then today
Wait,
when
so
we
you entered on the second green candle at that price or the first green candle at that price?
the second, because the green
That
diamond
one.
came the
Okay.
green diamond came in here. I saw it and I was waiting for this candle to close. And when it did close and then just moved up a little bit, I entered the trade. Okay, so I know it's below the support and resistance, but I used the alphanumerics on this.
Right. So I would have gotten on the following candle with the green star. If my bot was functioning, that green star candle would have gotten me in.
Right, right. Well, this I don't have a bot that would have bought this. I just use my own intuition here. But yeah, anyway, I got into the trade here. But then today I was still worried that we're going to keep doing the lower high progression. So today when we came and crashed back down, I closed that trade here. So I made 0.185 on this trade today in 24 hours. And then when we bounced back, had a really good response on it. I think on maybe this candle right here or this one here, whatever, I re-entered the trade. All the same sizes. Actually, this one was a bit larger, to be honest. This is 250. That was 280,000 contracts. But yeah, anyway, so I'm back long, totally happy to be long. That's a long. I want to get rid of these. That's why I started with a 4 hour first. So, I mean, all things told, I think I played it pretty well. I would have rather still been in this trade right now, but I was a bit worried that we were going to come up and then put a new lower low in, so I cleared out the trade. What, you win some, you lose some. Well, I won,
So
but
you're now long as of 67, 757.
yeah. So I'm
Okay.
completely long now. So I'm confident, and I'm hoping that we can actually start clearing some of these areas the same way that Tone mentioned here. I would love the next the green star to come in 2.5 3 hours time, and I would love if we could do that above the 30 exponential moving average, because the 7 is now curling over. I want to see this flatten out. I want to see this go back into the right order the same way that it should, like this. I want to see all the moving averages pointing up and curling around over the next few hours. But I'm not married to this trade, because I will go into the weekly for a second. And this is a really good segue. I hope that you'll stick with me here. I use alphanumerics. I use the MRI, and yes, there's a data error here. But another thing that I'm really cautious of is this indicator right here, built from our good friend Socrates. It's called the EXA indicator, and I'll just bring it up so you can see it. It's the Fisher distance from EMA. It's free on TradingView. If you go to indicators and search EXA, that'll come up in here. This is an indicator that I really, really like, built, as I said, by Socrates, who, just as a quick segue, is going to be my next guest on Trader Talks. So if you're a big fan of Socrates,
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, he and I have been chatting for a few weeks now, just trying to get our timing right. But Socrates is the man. He taught me a lot back in the day, and I can't wait to have him on the show. He's been sorely missed. So anyway, this is his indicator. So as you can see, this is the thing that's concerning me slightly. Now, we've got a long way to go before it gets to these tops here. So we could continue on from this point and put in a higher top. But if this starts to curl over, that would make me a bit concerned that this is a topping pattern. You can see that for example, the cross here was a really good cross right here. The cross here was a really good cross here. The cross here was a really good cross here. And as well as the tops as well, they came lower. I actually used the EXA in conjunction with alphanumerics on the monthly time frame, which is not a Socrates thing as far as I know. But back here, when we had the all-time low come in and the EXA crossed back here, and you'll notice this ties in really well with Tone's thinking that this was the real top, that the EXA had its cross right here. But right here, I sent it to Joe Saz. I posted it on Twitter. I told everybody about it. I was really, really interested in this cross right here on the monthly time frame of the EXA. The fact that we were down here, and that the last few times that it did it at these absolute lows, I was very, very interested. I'm still in those trades today from back here. And you can see right now the position we're in right now. And look, it's like diminishing returns each time from here to here to here. It is in that zone of uncomfortability. And so I am cautious that that's not a good line or anything like that, but you get the jive that it's downwards facing in kind of diminishing returns with this ESA from here to here to here. Now, I'm conscious of this, that there might not be as much to go to the upside without a correction as there could be. It's just something that I'm taking note of.
The MRI monthly top is coming up in a few months. I still think this has a few months to go, but this is also why I am anticipating a 30 to 40% correction. Maybe not 40, but 25 to 30% plus correction starting going into the summer.
And I'm with you. I'm not with you yet because there's no reason to yet. This hasn't crossed.
Right.
The MRI. Yep. Go
ahead, if
please.
We go into that mid 80s, low 90s, in mid to late April, somewhere around that halving, That's going to set up a lot of indicators for a top right in that zone.
And this is one of them. And I would love to see, even if it came back and then, you know, it gathered steam to break it at another point and we could put a higher in and change the structure of everything. Fantastic. I'm all for that. But I'm cautious about this sort of stuff. I'm cautious. So that's just one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention. I don't normally bring you other indicators, but because we have the great Socrates coming on a show soon, I thought I'd bring it to your attention. We can go to lower time frames, but I mean that's the majority of the show that I've got right now. And I don't want to fall into the trap that I've got here that you mentioned of having blinders on, because I'll just pull up the charts again for 1 second, because all of us had blinders on when on the weekly time frame. You did, I did, we all did when we had the second double top here. A lot of
Yeah.
indicators in retrospect didn't thought that this was the top. Really, they did. So I'm just cautious that I'm mindful that it's still a strong possibility of a serious correction. So all these positions that I'm in, if I start to see these dominoes falling, I'll definitely be proactive. But at the moment, there's no reason to be, and we're still locked and loaded. So that's all I had to say.
I'll just mention last week the purchasing of the ETFs was very, very bullish once again. All the numbers are not out yet. Still need probably later today get all the final numbers from last week, and it looks like it was another week of 30,000+ Bitcoin entering storage positions across all the ETFs. GBTC sold like 12,000 Bitcoin or something, and all the other ones bought 40,000+ Bitcoin. So we had once again a huge positive week on inflow, and yet the price was down. So this could mean something. This could mean that these purchases are actually happening the week before, and they're settling a week later. So if we see this week significantly less inflow, somewhere in the vicinity of 10,000, that would explain last week's blunder.
Well, I mean, that makes the data very much lagging and almost untradeable to try and perceive what's happening. You'd have to go back to technical analysis again. But that's the great equalizer. I think that there'll be a lot of people commenting right now, man, we're in a super cycle, ETFs, blah blah blah. I'm with you. I get it, right? And I'm not praying for a crash so I can buy in because I missed the dip. I'm locked and loaded. Straight up is fine by me. But and maybe the ETFs and all this extra buying and interest is the great equalizer that can make mute all of these technical indicators. Great, even better. But let's still pay attention to them when they come in. Do you want to have a look at market open? It's pre-market Monday. There's not much going on in the traditional markets. We've gone through a bit today. We could set up for the week, or what do you think?
I mean, look, it's Monday morning, so there's not going to be much. I will glance at it because I'm curious. I did see that Tesla is popping nicely to the upside finally. I was very disappointed that we didn't make it to the top of the channel. I really thought, okay, fine, we didn't make it to the top of the channel. We came back and tested the channel, broke it by one candle, and now it looks like we're rising back up. So let's see if we can make it back to the top of the channel this time. So I did notice that. As far as the market goes, let me see what the pre-market looks like in the futures. The futures are looking very strong in the pre-market. I think the Fed is going to have a statement this week, next week. I think FOMC is happening again. I don't think they're going to lower the rates or raise the rates. They're going to leave it as is. And I would not be surprised if a new all-time high is made in the stock market this week or next week. I remain bullish in the stock market. I've been bullish in the stock market almost forever, and I see no reason why that should change. Let's take a sneak peek at gold. Gold is now moving beyond the 1 to 4 candle correction. At this point, I would rather see gold pull back some more, hit its moving average. This is the daily chart. Pull back a little bit more on the daily, come down to 2,130 area, and then hit an MRI buy, and then go up from there. And oil is continuing to rise. The current administration is continuing to buy oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. They are contributing to the rise in oil prices. I think the more they rise into the summer, the more likely it is that the petroleum reserve will be used to lower gas prices. But for now, the trend for the last 6 months has been up in oil. 3 green star candles in a row. I remain bullish on the price of oil. All right. Questions?
Yep. That's
Comments?
fantastic. Give me 1 second. I just want to check one thing. Can you vamp for a second? Tap dance for a second.
Yeah. What's up?
No, it's okay. I'll bring it to you tomorrow's show. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. That would be fantastic. Please look into the affiliate links we have in the description below. Please join the Discord group and the VIP service. You're going to get signals firing flat out. We're going to get a Telegram group as well, so that through webhooks we can shoot off the signals on Bangbox automatically. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. It's going to be a big week. I really hope Bitcoin kicks off from here. I hope you all bought the dip and you're in a good spot to move on up. That'd be great into that weekly MRI top.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all on the next one.